this has nothing to do with the sermon whatsoever, but who all just loves John and his circular logic and talking all the time. I and them and you and me, and we'll know we are one, blah, blah. I don't know. Drives me crazy sometimes. So today we are celebrating a baptism. The baptism of Jacob Zeke Hashinsky. We're baptizing him into a new life. Baptizing, so he is dead to the life that is before and alive to something that is completely new. A life that is completely changed. And he can't quite ask for himself yet what exactly he's in for. And how many of us have thought about what we are in for when we were baptized? When we're welcomed into God's family? When we are made brand new? What are we getting ourselves into? And part of it is that, yes, we are united with Christ in our baptisms. We're united together with him and through all the people, through all the generations over these 2,000 years and even before. United as one people. United in love. United in hope. United in this new life. This new life calls us towards love. A love that is far greater than we can possibly even imagine. For instance, in today's readings, Paul is in jail. He's sitting there with all of his compatriots. He's sitting there, and nobody wants to be in jail, right? Anybody have a yearning, great desire one day to sit in a jail cell? No? Who would have thunk? And here he is sitting there when all of a sudden all his miracles happen and the walls come tumbling down and he can walk out just free. And does he? No. He and all of his friends, he and every other prisoner stay. And they stay not because they enjoy it so much. It's not a nice vacation for them. They're not just tired of walking all over the place. They stay because they know that if they were to get up and they were to leave, their jailer's life would be forfeit. If they leave, he dies. Now, there's nothing in there that says it's a particularly nice jailer, right? Nothing is completely awful either. But there's nowhere in there saying he's worthy one way or the other of this kind of love. He's just a guy doing his job. But these prisoners value his life more than their own freedom and comfort. I'm not 100% sure I could do the same thing. I like to think that I could, but I also know that if I had my own way of being, my own say, I would be out of there as soon as humanly possible. But the only thing that gives them strength and ability to do this is the power of love. This love that comes from God. This love that empowers them to be able to sit. How many of us love having that superpower? The ability just to sit. It's a great feeling, isn't it? But it gives them a reason to stay. And because of this love, someone else is saved. Not just his life. But the fact that he then begins to see that love and says, I want a part of this. I want to be made new by this. My whole family is going to be baptized. My whole family is going to understand this is the living God. This is the one true God who helps the prisoner to save their persecutor. I was trying to think of other prisoners throughout the years who have done kind of the same thing. I came across a chaplain in the military named Emil Kapaun, Kapaun. I'm going to guess that's how I say his name. He's not here to correct me, so I'll go with it. But it's during the Korean War, and they're under attack. I don't know what they're going to do. And he has the opportunity to run and not be captured. But instead, he keeps running back into the bullets to save people who are injured, to bring them to safety, to bind their wounds, make sure that they could keep on going. And because of this love of always going back and forth and taking care of these people, he himself is captured. And he wasn't done yet. See, they were put on a death march, which is basically, if you can't keep up, you are killed. There's now like sitting back in the back hoping they ignore you and you can get away. It's, oh, you're behind us, up, you're gone. And so what he would do is when he saw someone faltering, someone who just could not keep up, someone who was tired, he would pick them up and carry them. He had still the strength to keep moving forward to make sure they were safe. And then, when they got to the camp, his compatriots, his people were still hungry. They weren't being fed enough, or to keep strong enough. So in the middle of the night, he'd go out and he would steal rice from the soldiers and bring it back, once again risking his own life for others. Such is the nature of love that we are baptized in. Someone willing to sacrifice of themselves to love and support others. Ultimately, he didn't make it out of the camp. He died in the camp. A few years ago, awarded a medal by the president. There's some talk of sainthood over in Rome. But his life, this life, ended in that camp. And it's not believed to have done anything any differently. He gave himself to serve. Such is the nature of love. And sometimes we also think that's all we're meant to do. Just keep giving of ourselves until we are completely depleted, right? And there is some truth to that, but it's also, God calls the people and says, all you who are thirsty, come and drink. All you who have needs, come and have them met. If you are hungry, come and be filled. We are a people who are giving of ourselves to help others, but also given permission by our God to take care of ourselves too. To have value in ourselves, to be able to see ourselves and say, I am in need. I am in need of time with my Creator. I am in need of time with my family. I am in time of need for my material needs. Can you imagine sitting there and being just dehydrated? Which is not a fun experience. Just being so thirsty, and having God come and say, you who are thirsty, come and drink. There's this ever-flowing river of life which has no end. And how often do we sit there and go, sorry, God, I'm good. I don't need it. Let it be for someone else. Kind of that food that sits in the fridge, right? There's like one piece left, or that one bowl of cereal left in the box. And you're kind of going, well, someone in the house might want it more than I do. So it sits there, and it sits there, and it sits there, and gets moldy and stale, and the trash gets it. All because everyone sat back going, someone else might want it more. We have a God who calls to us and says, you who thirst, you who are hungry, come and be filled. This gift is not just for everybody else, but this gift is for you. And don't worry about it running out. It will never run out. Because God's love never ends. God's power never ends. God's mercy never ends. You're in need of forgiveness. Guess what? You are forgiven. You're in need of strength for the day. God will give you strength. You're in need of someone to just walk alongside your journey with you. And that person will be there for you. Because God did not say you are in this by yourself. God doesn't say, here's all these burdens upon your back, deal with it. But what did he say in that wonderful reading from John today, with all those circles back and forth? But that they may be united together with me, so that we all may be made one. Not all individual little boats out in the vast ocean trying to survive. But all of us brought together as one. Throughout all generations, throughout all locations, we are brought together to love and support one another. And that's what we are baptized into. We are baptized into grace. We are baptized into this free gift of God. We are baptized into love. And we are baptized in a community that will rally around us and say, we are here for you. You don't need to stand alone and by yourself. When you start falling back, we will come and rally around you and pick you up, put you on our backs, and make sure you get where you need to go. When you are hungry, you will be fed. And when you need strength, when you need a prayer, when you need us, we are one. We are one. If one suffers, we all suffer. When one rejoices, we all rejoice. But God gave us this wonderful gift of each other, of new life, of promises that are kept, of water and of food. We will be nourished if only we are willing to admit that sometimes we are weak and we need it so much. There's no need to be afraid. There's a reason to be afraid of faulty microphones, but no reason to be afraid. But instead to know that we are loved and made whole every day. Amen.